This is a seismic injury, and the worst news. I think this is legitimately the worst news the Panthers could get. An ACL tear and an MCL tear for Barkov that will make him at least miss the regular season. And I'm not going to assume that you could just flip a switch and stop McDavid in the playoffs because Barkov will get back and be exactly himself. I imagine that Roy and Zaz are crushed by what it is that happened here because I legitimately can't think of a bigger injury that could happen locally. This is the most damaging thing that could possibly happen to a two-time defending champion, to have a player this versatile go down on a non-contact injury and have it be both ACL and MCL, which you know is going to be a monster rehab.
The only thing worse would have been, like, if he had his head chopped off.
That would have been bad.
Yeah, like that's the only thing worse. Yeah.
Well, hockey players can play through that. Yeah. ACL and MCL will knock you out for the season, but the torso of Barkov could still neutralize McDavid.
I was trying to think of, like, what is a local injury that made me feel the way the end of last week did. Like, maybe it was when Dwayne Wade got hurt in 2005 in the Eastern Conference Finals. You know, he missed Game 6. He had to be shot up. He was only good in the second half of Game 7. That was really terrible. The Dolphins haven't had an injury like this. I mean, Tannehill got hurt that one year, but it's like, whatever, it's Tannehill. I mean, you go back to Marino in 1992, 1993. This, to me, this is as devastating an injury I have felt in a really long time. I was so bummed on Friday last week.
Yeah, I mean, the best player on the back-to-back defending champions just got hurt, and he might be done for the season. So, yeah, that is a devastating injury. But this team is deep enough to actually make the playoffs, and who knows how far they might go without him.
I don't know. It's hard making the playoffs in that league, man. I don't think it's a given. Don't forget, Tkachuk is out till January. Like, I don't know that it's a given that they're going to be a playoff team.
They're very deep, and that depth is going to be tested. The Panther team that won last year is as great a champion of any kind as we've had in sports. It was stronger than their first champion, and the reason it was so strong is because of their depth. But it's going to take 90-plus points to make the playoffs. And, yes, you're correct that the top half of hockey is very strong, and there are no assurances that you're going to make the playoffs. And, again, I don't believe that you can simply rehab and then start with playoff intensity hockey and expect Barkov to be exactly the same player.
Oh, like you're holding out that he's going to just show up and play in the playoffs.
Well, I'm
not.
I'm hoping that there's a look. Hockey players are weird, and playoff hockey people play through. You heard Maurice tell us last week what people were playing through. So I assume he will try because of what it is these guys have put together, and because he will never get a chance again in the entirety of his career. And there are probably 0 players in the league who will ever get the chance to win 3 straight titles.
It's a damn shame because I like their chances. And Zaz is right. I know we invoked McDavid. That's like 2 months into the playoffs. Like, I think it's going to be a real battle to get into the playoffs. They play in the hardest division in hockey with ascending teams. You know, you have the Lightning and you have the Maple Leafs in that division, but teams like the Red Wings and Ottawa are certainly on the come-up, on the ascension there. It's going to be a real struggle for this team without Matthew Tkachuk for most of the season and without the best two-way player in the game in Aleksander Barkov to make the playoffs. They are deep enough to make it. There are wild cards in that sport. We'll see.
I hate injuries.
Yeah, it's a 7 and 9 month timeline. Even the most aggressive has them like iffy for that first round of the playoffs. This is a really bad injury, and it's an injury that every other contender in the NHL in both conferences maybe just.
I would give him my knee if it meant he would. Would you give him your knee?
I would give him.
I would give him my knee. I'd give him both my knees, and I would merge my 2 knees into one super knee, and I would give that to him.
And an elbow. Yeah, they all pump their fists under the table. This is huge for the rest of the NHL.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Did McDavid pump a fist quietly under the table when he heard of the injury? Yes or no? Because I understand what you're saying. There's a lot involved before you get to McDavid, and a lot has to happen for both of those teams to end up in the Stanley Cup final. But the reason Barkov is what he is to me is because I've seen no other human being on earth who exists who can neutralize McDavid. That is not something that any other team in the league has in its toolbox. And so when Zaz says this is comparable, to Dan Marino going down with an Achilles tear when you knew the moment that it happened, oh no, there goes everything. And Dan Marino wasn't any kind of champion. It was just you knew you had a competitive chance, and Barkov gives you Barkov being healthy makes you know, yeah, they're probably going to get into the playoffs no matter how hard it is. Barkov not being healthy makes you scared